Hello everybody and Merry Christmas and welcome to the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops. This week is a big week because of National Early Signing Day. A lot of the kids signing the dotted line, and we're going to go to an update as of Wednesday right now. According to ESPN, Oklahoma has the number 4 recruiting class, Miami 3, Georgia 2, Alabama number 1. Consensusly speaking across the board, OU is ranked 8th on 24/7. And Rivals has Oklahoma 10th with 24 people signing as of today. And of course, the classes can grow through the official National Signing Day through February and all the add-ons in between with the portal. Coach, your thoughts on how Oklahoma has done in the second class of Brent Venables?
Yeah, first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there. Have a great holiday and bless y'all. But I think Brent Venables and his staff do an outstanding job recruiting. They work so hard at it. They have so many people involved in it, and Brent has he just has a very true and great holistic approach to everything that he's doing. So I really believe in these guys, and they're doing a great job. And I don't believe this will be the end of it. I believe there'll be more transfers as well as players to add in February.
All right, a huge JUCO joins Oklahoma, rated as the top cornerback in the country, Dolby. And of course, Jackson Arnold on the offensive side, 5-star signal caller who has been diehard to play in Levy's offense and play for the Sooners. He says he can't wait to play in Norman.
I love it. Jackson Arnold, I've watched him, followed him. Incredible high school career. Can't wait for him to be here. I guess I'm allowed to say that now, right?
Yeah, he's signed. He's signed. You can say it.
Sometimes I get ahead of myself, but really looking forward to watching him here and getting around him. And the little I go to practice, just being able to meet him and see him here, I'm sure he's going to have a great career. Again, I really believe in this offense. A quarterback can have great careers and statistics, and Jeff Levy's offense and what we're doing here at OU. So I'm really excited to watch them. And defensively, defensive backs, and I always believe the cornerback position is probably the hardest position on the field. It's the most, you're out there alone. So to have somebody, players that can really play and handle that pressure and have that kind of skill are always going to help your defense.
And ESPN said the biggest winners of the day, they listed 5 schools. Oklahoma, one of those 5 schools. Here's a look at the top 10 again. Alabama 1, Georgia, Miami, followed by Oklahoma at 4, Notre Dame 5, Oregon skyrocketed up to number 6, LSU 7, Texas 8, Florida 9, and Ohio State 10. A lot of the same names we've seen be successful in the field also being successful in recruiting.
And you feel comfortable when you're in that group of teams. They're all always year in and year out highly successful teams and recruit well. So again, I think Coach Venables, the whole staff did an outstanding job being in that company. And again, I really believe we are with Brent. This is his first year, just getting started, and I believe it'll continue to improve, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
And his staff, again, all of the different coaches that have won at the highest level before, either as a player or as a coach, they know what it takes player-wise to win the big prize.
Absolutely, and I think they're really smart, the whole staff, at not just focusing on stars, on certain stars, players that fit your system, your scheme, players that fit you personality-wise. I was big on that. I wasn't always just focused on who has the most stars. People have to fit in your system. You have to be able to relate with them. They have to know they're going to take hard coaching and they're going to be a team guy, those kind of things. That mattered to me, and I believe it matters to this staff.
And the updated portal rankings on ESPN and 24/7 Sports has Oklahoma at number 1 on the transfer portal. And it's almost like there are truly 2 different recruiting classes coming to OU, both very important.
And I have to come clean. I can't say that I'm a portal watcher or pay attention to who. So I can't really comment strongly on that, other than I know we work hard at it, at evaluating everybody. What are our opportunities? And that's what matters. And I would have also, again, just go back to our guys are very thorough, and Brent and the whole staff are finding guys that fit them. personality-wise, goal-wise, as well as talent-wise, in their schemes. So if you're ranked up there anywhere in the top 5 or 10, you're doing well.
What was it like for you as a head coach on a day like today, on National Signing Day, even though it's early signing day, a large majority of kids are signing now, when you've had all this communication, you've invested all this time and energy in getting to know the kid, getting to know their families, and they may have told you they're coming, but you really don't know if they're coming until you see that signature.
Yeah, there's always a level of anxiety of are they being forthright, because there's those times when through the years, I was a head coach 18 years, it didn't always come through what they were telling you. So in those times when it doesn't, it just breaks your heart. Like, seriously? I mean, we worked so hard, we've had such communication, or you couldn't have told me, so you always just have a level of anxiety that you trust it's going to happen, but until you see it happen, you're always a little apprehensive.
And as you mentioned, you're a head coach for 18 years. You signed a lot of kids. What were some of the big victories on the recruiting trail that maybe the people at home don't understand, but where you may have been on the outside looking in, but you were able at the last minute or maybe the last few months bring that player to town?
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the guys, I really can't say that I really remember a last day some kind of crazy change, but we had a lot of hard fought, victories just with a lot of different guys. I mean, the Tommy Harrises and Adrian Peterson and,
That's a pretty good list right
Jermaine
there.
Gresham. Some guys, though, and you hope they're telling you the truth. Guys, Adrian, he's like, Coach, you don't need to be calling me every week or all the time. Like, you couldn't call all the time back then. Jermaine was the same way, Gresham. Down in Ardmore, he says, Coach, I'm good. I'm coming to Oklahoma. You don't have to keep calling me. And not that he didn't want to talk to me, but it's like the assistant coach is calling him, I'm calling him, and I want to talk to my girlfriend or I want to talk to my buddy. Some people kind of keep tabs on how much someone calls you, whether they want you back. Some guys don't care about it. And some of the best ones, like Adrian, Jermaine, they didn't care about how many times you called them. They knew we wanted them bad. So those are the fun guys to recruit. But anyway, it was always, again, you just worked hard at it until you knew you had them, and then you still call them when you're allowed to and keep in touch with them, and but it's a difficult process sometimes.
And how frustrating is it? And again, this is well documented. We're not going to mention names, but players that you were recruiting that really wanted to come to Oklahoma, but at the last minute, unfortunately, some violating NCAA things happen and they chose another school. That has to hurt just as bad because you're like, this is a guy that really wants to play here.
That kills you. I mean, you've worked so hard. Some guys, a couple years, junior, senior year, or sophomore, junior year, and into their senior year, and they indicate and kind of lead you on that they're coming, and then they don't, and it's just like all this work. And then the feelings of it because you've become close to them, and anyway, it's hard.
Was there ever a time, not mentioning any names, but was there ever a time where a parent or even a player himself tried to do a shakedown to try to say, hey, pay me or do something behind the scenes?
I had those calls that a certain program was talking about this much money, what are we willing to do, and those conversations for us were very short because I'm not in that market. I never, I lectured my staff multiple times that, listen, I'll lose before I cheat. And if I know you're intentionally cheating, everyone can make an accident, make an extra call when you didn't realize it. I'm not talking that intentionally violating rules. I said, you'll be fired immediately. And I said, there'll be nothing to talk about. So that wasn't my style. That wasn't how we did it. And, I guess I don't know how to do that. It's not my nature. And again, I always said I'd lose before I cheated. So I just wasn't going to do that.
And when you look at how NIL is impacting recruiting, I mean, like it or not, this is the big elephant in the room. and you talk about all of the different factors behind the family and all these other things that are happening, and this is real money. I mean, we're talking about real money. It has an impact on this as well.
Absolutely. And to say schools can't be involved in what's offered, come on, you got your head in the sand. It's absolutely involved. And again, if that's all you're interested in, then go ahead. But there's a lot to be learned and experienced in college the right way. And again, being compensated a fair way is I'm all for it. But if it's just money, then have at it. We'll see where it goes. I don't know how they're managing it, and they're not.
And one of the things I do want to highlight, and I thought it was really impressive, the number 25 recruiting class in the country today, Mississippi State. Mike Leach's former school, obviously. Mike Leach passed away here recently. You were just at his memorial service. Kind of talk about the emotions, being able to see friends and family and being able to remember a legend, the true pirate, Mike Leach.
Oh, what a special guy. It can't be said enough. He's one of a kind, the true original, and just so authentic. That's just him. We all miss him. And I was handling after 4 or 5 days the emotions of getting over him. You're not getting over it, but just coming to terms with it. And then I go down to the service, and Mississippi State did an incredible job with the service. Took care of all the athletic directors, coaches. There's so many. All of college football was there represented, and they did such a great job. So it was. But as soon as you start seeing all the guys that really have close ties to Mike, you get emotional. It was like, oh wow! I saw Dana Holgerson, who met him when he was 18 in Iowa Wesleyan, and Bill Biedenbow played for him also. Iowa Wesleyan, knew him when he was 17, and has known him since. And then you start seeing all these guys that have such. Hal Mummy they were like brothers. So then you start seeing these guys, and you get emotional. And I had to collect myself and say, look, I got to talk, and speak, and honor Mike this way. So you kind of have to pull back. But it was emotional seeing all the guys with all the ties to Mike. And it's so far reaching. It's incredible. Whether players, so many players there that had played for him. And on and on. I mean, I can't name them all, but all of college football was represented. And they did a great job with the service. And I think, just honoring Mike, everybody that spoke did a really good job reflecting on so many different times. And people that didn't see it, I reflected on. I kind of said that, look, we're so used to getting anywhere from midnight to 2 a.m. phone calls from Mike that I said, hey, let's reach out, and all of us, we know who we are that have been getting these calls through the years. And there's a lot of us. Let's keep calling each other after midnight every once in a while in Mike's honor. And then I signaled, of course, he's going for it on 4th and 2 on his own 40. And he had his favorite, not his favorite, but one of his big plays on 3rd short, 4th short, whatever, was 92. It's kind of the mesh play. And, and he puts a little signal with the post wheel. And so I kind of did a signal early, 92 post wheel. And it was like, wow, and that's what he would have called, and that's how he would have signaled it. And funny, Mike was notoriously stubborn too, so that's probably his signal all the way back to us. Back in the day, he wouldn't change his signals. Anyway, so oh man, he was a beautiful guy and got a great family, Sharon and 4 children and a few grandchildren now. So I just hope people just continue to pray for them to continue to remember Mike and help them get through this.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with his family. But what a great testimony to the staff that he built, that Mississippi State recruiting class stayed together and finished in the top 25. When you know this better than anyone, when the head coach is gone, when the offensive genius is gone, you're going to have people coming in and poaching your players and trying to take them to, I'm so sorry he's gone, but come play for us. And they stuck together.
Absolutely. What a great year. And had a player pass away early in the season also. So 8-4, 24th in the country. January 2nd playing in Tampa against Illinois. So wish him the best. And I encouraged them a little bit there to honor Mike and do then they play well. I saw a little clip of one of their top recruits who said something about staying, with Mississippi State and in a way honoring Mike. He was one of the last recruiting class of them, and good for him, and those guys that stayed with it. And I'm sure their team will work hard and play well in the bowl game. So we wish them the very best of luck. And the entire team was there, and all the coaches. It was really special. So anyway, we wish them the best of luck on January 2nd.
A first-class person whose impact will long live on. Mike Leach. For Coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen saying thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, next week we'll have our special Bowl Pick'em show. We'll go through all the big games, including the cheesiest one of them all, the Cheez-It Bowl. Can't wait for that one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Merry Christmas.